Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in this video we are doing a continuation in our crash course for the aptitude section problems which we are discussing for Wipro and LTH examinations. So in this section we are going to discuss the problems on boards and streams, and I will also give you some tips and tricks so that you can use them to calculate your answers in a better manner, a bit fast than the traditional methods. So that is what you can get out of this video. So if you have not joined our channel, make sure to subscribe to the Rebox family and also join our Telegram groups, for which all the links are provided in the description box below. And also we are conducting regular quizzes on our Telegram channel, so it can also help you in your preparation and also to test out how much you know and how much you don't. So let's continue in this video. Before moving on in this video, first of all let's clear some facts and important terms which you need to know about boards and stream problems. So that is something which should be clear at the very first when you start learning about it. When a speed of a boat or a swimmer is given, it usually means the speed in still water. So there can be a case where it is given that a man is rowing at a speed of X kilometer per hour. So it is one and the same thing. So if you refer it to as a man or as a boat, it's the same thing. Now there is another concept which is called as streams. So what is stream? Stream is nothing but water in action or water in motion. So moving water is called as stream. Now they are of two types, upstream and downstream. Upstream is the case where a boat is moving against the flow of water, and downstream is the case when boat moves with the flow of the water. So they are the two things which you need to take care of, and the rest of the problems are really easy to crack if you have a basic understanding of what it is. Along with which we should have another understanding of speed, time and distance. So that is something I think everybody knows, but still always remember that speed into time gives us the distance, because it is some of the things which you need in these kind of problems. Now here the speed will vary as follows. Since you have two speeds, that is the speed of the boat and the speed of the stream. So let's say for this video we have the speed of the boat always as x and the speed of the stream as y. Now here is a visual explanation of everything which we discussed right now. So if we have a river which is flowing in the right direction and the boat is also flowing in the right direction, then we say that the boat is moving in downstream direction. However, if the boat is moving in the opposite flow of the river, then we can say that the boat is moving in the upstream direction, or we can say that the boat is moving upstream. Now we look at some of the basic formulas. So if the speed of a boat or a swimmer is x kilometer per hour, so it is given by x kilometer per hour, and the speed of the stream or the current is given by y kilometers per hour, then in that case the speed of the boat downstream will be given by x plus y kilometers per hour. So basically the speed of the boat and the speed of the river is adding up to give you the resultant speed, and if the speed of the boat is calculated upstream, it will be given by x minus y kilometer per hour. Now let's look at an example which follows the same formula. So the speed of a boat in still water is given as follows. The speed of the boat in still water is 20 kilometers per hour. If the speed of the stream is 4 kilometers per hour, then we have to find out the downstream and the upstream speeds. So the given data which we have is this. So the speed of the boat is given by x, as we have declared in the start of this video. So x is 20 kilometers per hour and speed of the stream is 4 kilometers per hour. So the resultant speed of the boat downstream will be given by 20 plus 4, which will be 24 kilometers per hour using the above formula which we mentioned right now, and the speed upstream will be given by 20 minus 4, which is 16 kilometers per hour. So that should be really clear by the example which we saw right now here. Let's move at some another important formula. So if the speed of a boat is x kilometer per hour and the speed of the stream or the current is given by y kilometer per hour, then in that case the speed of the boat in still water will be given by downstream speed plus upstream speed divided by 2, and the speed of the stream will be given by downstream speed minus upstream speed divided by 2. Now in this case the easiest way to remember is if we are finding the speed of the boat, which will be a speed in still water, it is going to add up the speed of the streams, and if we are finding the speed upstream, that is we are finding the speed of the stream, then we have to find the difference of the downstream and the upstream speeds divided by 2, and that will be our resultant answer. So let's look at an example now. So a boat is rowed down a river 40 km in 5 hours and up a river 21 km in 7 hours. Find the speed of the boat and the river. Now here the details are not given directly. What you need to find out is the speed of the boat downstream and upstream. So using the words down and up, they are signifying that it's moving downstream and upstream. So Finding the speed of the boat downstream is really easy, as I already said that speed into time is equal to distance. So distance is given here and we are given the time, so we can use this formula to find out the speed. So in this case our speed will be 40 divided by 5, which is 8 kilometer per hour, and for upstream it will be 3 kilometer per hour. So that is the data which we can infer. So we have to find the speed of the boat and the river now. So we can use the above formulas. So the speed of the boat will be 8 plus 3 divided by 2, which is 11 by 2 or 5.5 kilometer per hour, and the upstream speed will be 8 minus 3 divided by 2 or 2.5 kilometers per hour. So we just use the above formulas which we discussed here right now. But make sure that since in this question you can see that the details are not given directly, they are given indirectly. So the speed could have been directly given as 8 kilometer per hour and 3 kilometer per hour. So that is one kind of elongation which they try to give to a problem. And the second type of elongation which they try to give is by changing the units. So your speeds could be in meter per second, or else your distance could be in meter and your time could be in hour. So in that case you have to first change your time into second, then calculate everything in meter per second, then change it to kilometer per hour, or else you can change your distance into kilometer, and since your time is already given in hours, so then you can calculate your resultant and then find your answer. So that is something you should be aware of. Let's look at some other important examples. So let's look at one important formula now. If a man is capable of rowing at the speed of x kilometer per hour in still water, he rows the same distance up and down a stream which flows at the rate of y kilometer per hour, then in that case his average speed throughout the journey is given by upstream speed into downstream speed divided by the man's rate in still water, which is nothing but x plus y into x minus y divided by x, and the unit will be kilometer per hour. So what here we are doing is that we have been given the speed, that is x kilometer per hour in still water. So the man's speed is x kilometer per hour and the stream has a flow of y kilometers per hour. So we are finding the average speed throughout the journey. So we add up the speed, that is x plus y, which gives us the downstream speed, and x minus y, which gives us the upstream speed, divided by the speed x, that will be the speed of the man in still water, that will give us his average speed throughout the journey. So let's look at an example which uses the same formula. A man rows at the speed of 8 km per hour in still water to a certain distance upstream and back to the starting point in a river which flows at 4 km per hour. So find his average speed for the total journey. So let's look at the details of what the questions speak now. So we have speed of the man, which is x, which will be 8 km per hour, and the speed of the stream, which is given by y kilometer per hour. So it's 8 and 4 respectively. So these are the details which are given to us. So what we want to find is his average speed for the total journey. Using the above formula, we can write x plus y into x minus y upon x. So we have put the values in the formula. So we see that the answer will be 6 kilometers per hour. Again, there can be elongations in your question wherein they change the units or they give some kind of details indirectly, just as we saw in the previous example where they give the speed indirectly by providing the distance and the time. So those are some kind of things which you need to take care of. What is the worst case is that they don't give you the speeds directly and also they change the unit, but they ask the answer in a different unit. So that is the worst case which you have to tackle. Now let's look at another important formula that is helpful and a really good one. So if a man can row a boat in still water at x kilometers per hour in a stream flowing at y kilometer per hour, if it takes t hours more in upstream than to go downstream for the same distance, then the distance is given by. Now let's analyze the things which are given in this question. The man can row a boat in still water at x kilometer per hour. So the speed of the man is x and the speed of the stream is y. But the question additionally says if it takes t hours more in upstream than to go downstream, then what is the distance? So we need to find out the distance. So it is given by the formula x square minus y square into t divided by 2 into y. And since we are finding the distance, it will be in the units kilometer. Now one thing which you need to make sure is that in this question we are not finding the distance which the man has traveled, we are finding the distance which the man traveled in upstream and downstream cases. So the distance is only the part which the man has traveled once, that is the thing which we are calculating in this question. So let's look at an example. A man can row 7 km per hour in still water. If the river is running at 3 km per hour, it takes 6 hours more in upstream than to go downstream for the same distance. So how far is the place? Now, as you can see at the details, the required distance will be given by the formula which we have. But what are the values which we will put in our formula? So we have x as 7 kilometers per hour and y as 3 kilometers per hour. So they are the speed of the man and the river, and it takes 6 hours. So t will be 6 hours more in upstream than to go downstream for the same distance. So how far is the place? Now, as you can see that they are asking how far is the place, and they are not asking for the distance traveled by the person. So we can use the above formula and write x square minus y square into t upon 2 into y, and the distance will be calculated in kilometer. So first of all, ensure that any unit conversion is required or not. If it is not required, then you can proceed with the problem. You are good to go. So we simply put the values in the formula. So 7 square minus 3 square into 6 divided by 2 into 3 will give us the answer 40. So 40 kilometer is the distance which has been traveled by the man in upstream, and 40 kilometers again in downstream, which takes a time lapse of 6 hours. That is the time duration, which is a difference of speeds in upstream and downstream. So now let's look at one another important formula. A man rows a certain distance downstream in t1 hours and returns the same distance upstream in t2 hours. If the speed of the stream is y kilometer per hour, then the speed of the man in still water is given by. Now, some things are really obvious here. First of all, there are two different timings which are given. So he takes t1 hours downstream and t2 hours upstream, and the speed is given, which is the speed of the stream, and we are required to find the speed of the person in still water. So it is given by the formula y into t2 plus t1 upon t2 minus t1, and again you need to take care of the unit conversions. So the unit will be kilometer per hour. So the question can also ask your answers in meter per second, so you have to do appropriate conversions as well. So always ensure that. So let's look at an example which uses this formula. A motorboat covers a certain distance downstream in 6 hours, but it takes 8 hours to return upstream to the starting point. If the speed of the stream is 6 km per hour, find out the speed of the motorboat in still water. This question could have been modified as follows, wherein they could have asked you to find the speed of the man, but they are talking in terms of motorboat. So it is one and the same thing, and it can also change the problem wherein they don't give you the speed of the stream directly. There can be cases where they give you the speed of boat in still water, and they give you the speed of the stream downstream, which is the sum of x plus y. So in that manner you can also find out the important details which you require to apply the formula. So always ensure the values which you need to put in your formula, are they available or they need to be calculated. So that is one thing which you need to ensure. So the speed of the motorboat will be given by the formula which we have mentioned above, and I have intentionally not written the formula right now because it will be helping you to just remember or recall what we read right now. So this was the values which we put into it, and the values are nothing but y into t2 plus t1 upon t2 minus t1. That is the formula which we used. So the answer will be 42 kilometer per hour. So I hope you got something out of this video, and I think this video was helpful for your understanding. So if you enjoyed this video and got something out of it, make sure to subscribe to our channel, join our Revox family. Also join our Telegram channel for multiple updates on our different videos in coding, in campus preparation, or in our crash course. For those who are new to the channel, I want to announce it once again that we have started the crash course in Wipro, and we are making videos on different aptitude questions which we are covering on a daily basis. So you can join our channel and also be a part of it, so you can keep up with your preparations and also get tested on your knowledge, on your existing knowledge, by joining our Telegram channel where we conduct the regular quizzes. So you can also join it there. So all the links are mentioned in the description. So that's it from my side. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube Box channel once again, and as always, keep learning.